Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Mindflayer tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to make a simple Mindflayer PvP bot. In front of me here, I have Sarika, who is my PvP bot. She's capable of equipping armor that I throw at her. She is capable of defending herself in combat. So if I go over here, I can also have her guard a location. She will move to that location and begin patrolling for mobs. So if I take this husk right here, she'll immediately seek out the husk and begin attacking it. After defeating it, she will return to her base. She is more than capable of taking on multiple mobs at a time. And even hunting down mobs she finds on her own, such as that bee over there. She's also capable of fighting players as well. Oh, she has a potion effect. Oh, okay. And it's clear now. So, myself, have armor on. So let's jump over into survival mode. I can actually have her fight me. I'm gonna get some distance. A little bit. So as you can see, she's using her shield properly, using her sword properly, and, well, just killed me. And she's right back here at her guard post. So, she's obviously more than capable of defending herself in battle. And there she goes again, fighting more mobs. She can guard an area, fight players, automatically equipped gear, and just for added spice of life, she will look at the nearest entity, which adds just a hint more life to the bot. So let's dive into the code. All right. To start with, we're going to create a new node project. I really don't care about the settings here, so I'm going to use all default. You can use whatever you like. All right, got a new package. Now, we're going to obviously install Mindflayer and three plugins for it. We are going to install the Pathfinder plugin, the Armor Manager plugin, and the PvP plugin. So I'm going to do that real quick. The Pathfinder plugin is going to help our bot move around and navigate the fields. The Armor Manager plugin is going to handle equipping the armor for us. And PvP plugin will handle low-level functions like attacking enemies and using your shield. This will take a lot of the work off of our hands and make it a lot easier to write our bot, so we can focus on the high-level stuff like choosing a target and knowing when to start and stop attacking. So if I create a new file over here, we can dive into the code. Now we're just going to start by pasting in our libraries. So we're going to import Mindflayer, import our PvP plugin, Pathfinder plugin, and Armor Manager plugin. We're going to create our bot in a standard Mindflayer way. So, create bot, pass in the process arguments. One thing to note is here I'm using the log errors tag. This is because due to a small bug in the Armor Manager plugin, it will spam harmless errors to the console when picking up EXP orbs. Again, these are completely harmless, but it gets a little spammy, so I'm going to turn those off by passing in log errors false. After creating our bot, we can load those plugins, and our bot should be set up. So let's get into the fun part. First, I'm going to start with equipping our sword. The Armor Manager plugin will handle equipping armor for us, but when it comes to equipping our sword, we will have to do that on our own. So, how we do this is pretty straightforward. The player collect event is called whenever any entity picks up an item, or XP. The collector is the entity that picked it up, and the item drop is the item entity that is being picked up. So what we want to do is, if the collector is not our bot, do nothing. We don't care. If it is, we want to scan the bot's inventory for any item that has sword, hopefully the one we just picked up. And if we do find a sword in our inventory, just equip it to the bot's hand. So this will give this will let us automatically equip a sword whenever we throw one at it. One thing to note here is I'm using a set timeout here. Well, this is because the server will send the player collect event before it sends the updated inventory. So we will receive this event, but our inventory still hasn't received the item yet. So we're going to wait a very small amount of time, in this case 150 milliseconds, for our inventory to finish updating, and hopefully by then we'll have we'll know where our sword is and all that. So we can check if we have a sword, if we have a sword equipped. If we don't, do nothing. All right. And another thing is, if you're using the Armor Manager plugin 1.3 or below, it does not handle shields yet. So if we want to use shields, we'll also have to do that real quick. It's basically copy and paste the same thing above, except you're changing sword to shield, and you're changing hand to offhand. Also, I want to change the delay to make it slightly longer, so it's not running at the exact same time as our sword equipped. Because if you try to move two items at the same time, the server might trigger the server's anti-cheat. So we're just gonna turn that up to about 250, a quarter of a second, and that should automatically equip our shield in the same way it equips our swords. I'm also, since all swords, there's multiple, obviously 5 types of swords in Minecraft. I'm not checking the actual name is equal to sword, but includes the word sword. So diamond sword and wooden sword both include the word sword, so that counts. Alright, after this, our bot should automatically equip any armor and automatically equip any shield we throw at it. So if I go ahead and run this bot, and let's clear Sark's inventory, jump into creative mode. If I throw this sword at her, picks it up. If I throw the shield at her, picks it up, equips it. If I throw some armor at her, and she's equipping it all. So that is working perfectly fine. If we throw something that's not armor at her, it'll pick it up, but nothing happens. Alright. Well, so far so good. Alright. Now, I think the next part would be fun to do is work on the PvP part. So, first we're going to start with a simple chat event. So, listen for when the bot sees someone say something in chat. If the message says, "Fight me," then the bot should immediately start attacking that player. So it just listens for if the message is equal to "fight me," try to get the player who said it. If the player's too far away or hasn't loaded, the bot will print an error in chat and do nothing. Otherwise, it will say it's prepare to fight, and trigger the PvP plugin to begin attacking that player. Let's test it. So I went over into survival mode real quick. Okay. So let's get out of these bushes real quick. You can see a little better. Alright. If I say "fight me," I immediately start dying. And Sarka does a wonderful job at taking me out as quickly as possible. Alright. And since I have died in combat, she will stop attacking me. The target has been defeated. Alright. I also think we should add a stop function. So if you want the bot to stop attacking its current target, it will basically tell the PV plugin to attack nothing, which will basically clear whatever it's currently attacking. So the bot will forget it's attacking anything. If I restart our bot, I'm going to switch to creative mode so she can't kill me. So she's obviously trying to attack me. I am in creative mode, so she's not getting very far, but she's trying. If I say stop, it will stop attacking me. Now, here I use the error message, I will no longer guard this area. That's because next we're going to work on the guard position, which is the fun part. Super easy to do. All we have to do is keep track of a guard location, which is the guard position. We're going to have a... this is where we want the bot to stand when it's not currently fighting. So, straightforward. We can tell it to guard an area, which will assign the guard position. And if the bot is not currently fighting anything, move to that guard position. And this is done in the standard pathfinding way. I covered this in episode 2. So, pretty straightforward right here. And the stop guarding function is done in the same way. Just clear the guard position. Tell the PvP plugin to stop, or attack null works here too. You can use either one. And if we have a Pathfinder goal initiative, just tell the Pathfinder to stop moving wherever we are. I'm going to replace our bot PvP plugin up here with stop guarding. And we will clear the guard position as well. Alright. For actually guarding the area, you can paste in an additional chat function called guard. I'll paste this up here. All this will do is if the message equal to guard, get the player who set it, print an error if we can't see them, and tell the bot to start guarding the location of that player. So wherever the player is standing, pass that position to the guard area, clone it, because it's the same object, we don't want to copy the same object, and assign it to the guard post. So when we run this command, it should immediately start moving to our guard position. Let's run our bot. So if I say go over here and say, let's say I stand right here. If I say guard, she'll walk over here, start guarding that location. Alright. If I run over here and say fight me, she will move over here and fight me, and then I can just run guard again and it will move back. Okay? Now obviously guarding is going to be very interesting if she's just going to stand there. So let's look for nearby monsters to attack. We could do this by just pasting a simple event listener for physics ticks. So run every Minecraft tick. If we don't have a guard position, do nothing. But if we do, use a filter to look for any mobs near the bot within 16 blocks. And that is not armor stand, because for some reason Mojang classifies armor stands as a mob, and we don't want to kill all of our armor stands. So not an armor stand, but any mob within 16 blocks of the bot. We're going to use a simple entity filter and get the nearest entity. If we found one, tell the bot to start attacking it. And this is where the real fun begins. So if I go over here and I tell her to guard this pose, we go over there. And this is when you start seeing her move and begin attacking enemies. Now, if there's only one enemy nearby, such as like when that husk, this will be called every frame. But that's fine because nothing will happen if we try to attack the same entity. We're already attacking it, so it handles that perfectly fine. So we'll just keep attacking it. But if we don't, if we have two monsters that are distant apart, we'll attack the closest one. This is useful if she starts getting swarmed in combat, for example. She won't be slaughtered while trying to kill the one that's kind of far away. She'll attack whatever's closest to her. So if she's getting swarmed, she's a lot more likely to survive. After she wins in combat, it'd be nice if she could move back to her guard post. So, thankfully, that's only a few lines of code for us. The PvP plugin adds an event called Stopped Attacking, which is called whenever its target is defeated or it stops attacking, such as when we call this function right here. So, basically, whenever the bot stops attacking, if we have a guard pose assigned, just move back to it. So if I say guard this location, and then I spawn a husk over here, she'll begin fighting it. After it's dead, she'll move back to her guard post. Perfect. If she has multiple mobs at once, she will fight both of them. But it's after she defeats one, while she may be triggered to go back to her guard pose, the other one is still within 16 blocks, so she'll immediately begin attacking it, thanks to this method up here. So we get the behavior we expected. Attack both creatures, and go back to our guard pose. As long as there's creatures nearby, constantly go hunt them down, kill them, and then come back. You'll begin guarding this area effectively. And we're basically done here, but I personally like to add a bit more life to it. So I just like to wrap up a good bot with this last function right here. Every physics tick if we're not currently in combat, which you can test by getting the target. So if we're currently in combat, do nothing. If we're currently walking around or moving, do nothing. Otherwise, get whatever the closest entity is and look at it. I covered this in my first episode, so this should be basically the exact same code I talked about in more detail there. Just if we're not in combat and we're not currently moving, look at the closest entity. Oh, wait, hold on, did I restart it? There we go. Now, the current closest entity is this invisible item frame, so she's going to be looking at that. But now she's looking at me. I throw something on the ground, she's going to look at that. And personally, I think this just adds a little bit more life to the bot. And it just makes it feel more animated, like she's actually there. Heal her up real quick. And that should cover it. So, yeah. That is how you make a Mind Flayer PvP bot. Now, I was originally going to make this tutorial a little bit longer. This is why it actually took me so long to release this. I originally was going to cover a lot of the low-level functions, such as attack cooldowns and how to chase a monster and everything else like that. But the tutorial wound up getting ridiculously long. The code base was getting very long. So I decided to take all of the low-level stuff and push it into creating the PvP plugin. So I pushed all of that into the plugin. So we can focus on the core concept of setting a target and everything else without worrying about making sure you swing your sword at the exact right time. So this should make it a lot easier for new developers to make a working bot. And then every bot will be able to use the same PvP and Armor Manager code, Pathfinder code, and just get started right out the gate with very little effort. So this doesn't take that much code. But we already have a perfectly good working bot. Guards oppose. It can fight players. It's not hard to modify if you wanted to target specific players. If you want to say, I want to attack another player, you could replace fight me with fight someone's name or something else. So it should give you a good base to work off of. And that is the end of my tutorial video. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful day.